Good evening, I'm Sean Farley. I'm Director of Public Affairs for the American College of Radiology. On behalf of the members, guests, and staff of the ACR, I welcome you to this very special evening honoring ACR's 3 new gold medalists, 2 honorary fellows, and 118 new fellows. Leading our processional tonight is Dr. Jeffrey G. Smith, ACR's Vice President, carrying the ceremonial ACR mace, which was first used at the ACR's 50th anniversary meeting back in 1973. Now, the history of the mace can be found in tonight's program. Following Dr. Smith is the President of the College, Dr. Albert L. Blumberg. Chair of the Board of Chancellors, Dr. Paul H. Ellenbogen. Vice Chair, Dr. Bibb Allen, Jr. Secretary-Treasurer, Dr. Ann C. Roberts. Speaker of the Council, Dr. Kimberly E. Applegate. And Vice Speaker, Dr. William T. Harrington. Following Dr. Harrington is our invited clergy, Rabbi Ronald J. Schulman of the Hizikamuno Congregation of Baltimore, Maryland. Next in the procession are additional members of the ACR's Board of Chancellors. Dr. Sherry L. Cannon, Philip S. Cook, Burton P. Dreyer, Howard B. Fleischon, Richard A. Geisy, Bruce J. Hillman, Alan D. Kay, David C. Kushner, Deborah Levine, Jonathan S. Lewin, Lawrence A. Liebscher, Geraldine B. McGinty, Carolyn C. Meltzer, Barbara S. Monsees, Deborah L. Monticello, M. Elizabeth Oates, Seth A. Rosenthal, and Katarzyna Jadwiga Matsura. I'd like to ask that everybody please be seated. Now we proudly introduce our 3 new gold medalists, escorted by members of the ACR's Board of Chancellors, Dr. N. Reed Dunnick. Actually, okay, yeah, they're all up here now. We're a little bit out of order tonight, sorry guys. Dr. Carol M. Rumack, of course, escorted by Dr. Edward I. Bluth, and Dr. James H. Thrall, escorted by Dr. Cynthia S. Sherry. All right, so now everyone can please take their seats. Following the new gold medalists are our 2 new honorary fellows, escorted by members of the Board of Chancellors. Dr. Michelle Claudon, escorted by Dr. Marta Hernandez Schulman, and Dr. Gabriel P. Creston, escorted by Dr. James A. Brink. Next entering the ballroom are the ACR's new fellows. They will each be recognized by name when they receive their certificates later on in tonight's program. As I mentioned, we have 118 new fellows this year. I'd like to ask that all the new fellows remain standing until all the fellows are in place. Thank you. I'd like to ask that all the new fellows please be seated. Now I would like to turn the podium over to our president, Dr. Albert L. Blumberg.
Thank you, Sean. Honored guests, members of the Board of Chancellors, ladies and gentlemen, this is the formal convocation of the American College of Radiology. On a personal note, I never realized what a difference 2 hours make. Same room, same stage, but I feel a lot relieved at this point. At the beginning of this ceremony, it is fitting that we turn to the giver of all talent, all intellect, all service, our divine creator. We are privileged this evening to invite Rabbi Ron Schulman to give our invocation. Please rise.
Blessed are you, eternal God, for renewing us to life this day, for this day is both important and precious. Precious because here we gather to honor the members and fellows of the American College of Radiology, all of whom are devoted to the health and well-being of individuals and our society through their application of skill and insight, medical technology, and human compassion. Important because here we dedicate our gathering to improving the quality of life for so many. We are all witnesses to courage. We are all uplifted by hope. We are all moved by great gestures of compassion and loving kindness. We all rejoice in healing. And so our prayer is for the health and the healing, the comfort and the hope, the wisdom and discovery that all of our lives seek. God, we pray, may our presence here this evening honor our professional purposes everywhere else. We are proud of those receiving fellowships this evening, those whose distinguished service will be recognized by the honors bestowed on them, and grateful for those who serve as leaders of the ACR, recognizing the many demands on their time and the generosity of their leadership. Thankful for the ability to see into the human body that we may preserve life. Dear God, we are humbled by the gift of our lives, and pray that the many blessings of collegiality and achievement we recognize tonight bring goodness and blessing to all. Amen.
Please be seated. We are called together this evening first to honor diagnostic radiologists, radiation oncologists, and medical physicists who've attained notable stature in our specialty. In recognition thereof, they are to receive the degree of Fellow of the American College of Radiology. Next, we have two distinguished physicians who have contributed to the advancement of radiology, our two new honorary fellows. Our further purpose is to pay homage to three ACR members for their distinguished and exemplary service to the college and the discipline of radiology, our three new gold medalists. Fellowship in the American College of Radiology is an honor, not given for the asking. It must be earned by a member through his or her endeavor. It represents recognition by peers. The bylaws of the college require nomination of a candidate for fellowship by the state chapter of which that candidate is a member, or by two fellows, one of whom is not associated with the nominee in practice. A member of the college becomes eligible for nomination after a minimum of 10 years as a full member of the college. The candidate's qualifications are then investigated. The member must receive the approval of the Committee on Fellowship Credentials before election by our Board of Chancellors. Less than 12% of all ACR members are fellows. All of the qualifications for this exclusive group have been met by each and every of the candidates here tonight. I now call upon the Chair of the Board of Chancellors, Dr. Paul Ellenbogen, to address the candidates for the degree of fellowship in the American College of Radiology. Paul?
Thank you, President Blumberg. May I offer my personal congratulations and welcome to everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the American College of Radiology seeks to serve humanity by developing and exemplifying the highest traditions of medicine. In accepting fellowship in the college, you pledge yourself to abide in strict accord with its principles and declarations and to practice radiology in a way that reflects credit upon it and upon you. You further promise to do all in your power to advance the science and art of radiology and to extend the prestige and influence of the American College of Radiology so that it may better serve the people of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the President will now administer the Pledge of Fellowship. Will the candidates and the board please stand?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Fellowship Pledge of the American College of Radiology requires that you continue to uphold the ethical standards promulgated by the American College of Radiology, to strive constantly to advance your knowledge, to provide your services freely to those unable to pay for them, to be sensitive to the needs and aspirations of the society in which you live and practice, and to help advance the status of radiology through teaching those desirous of learning. Fellowship candidates, please raise your right hand. Do you, each of you, reaffirm your determination to place the welfare of your patients before all other considerations in your practice of radiology? Do you pledge yourself to abide by the principles and tenets set forth in the Pledge of Fellowship? In accordance with the bylaws of the American College of Radiology and by the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Fellow in the American College of Radiology. Please lower your hands. I ask everyone to please be seated. When Dr. Ellenbogen reads your name, please come forward and receive your degree as a Fellow of the College, then return to your seat.
I apologize in advance for anyone's name who I do not pronounce correctly. We did a dry run this morning, and I think I have most of the names, if not all, correct. We will begin with May Mustafa Abdel Wahab. Michael M. Ambrosino. John B. Amodio. Janet Evelyn Bailey. Bobby C. Baker. Mark Early Baker. Sydney Belshi. Eric C. Borikas. Davide Bova. Raymond E. Bosman. Stephen P. Braff. Larry J. Burr. David F. Butler. Paul Winston Chandler. Paul J. Chuba. Kelly A. Cohen. Brian Douglas Coley. Christopher Edmund Comstock. Deborah Somers Copit. George S. David. Lawrence M. Davis. Mark Charles Delano. Roland D. DeMarco. Colin Peter Durdane. William D. Dockery III. Ann P. Dunn. Webb J. Earthman. Terrell Eford. Joel D. Elson. Eric Brian Friedberg. Phyllis J. Frostenson. Morris L. Gavant. Joseph J. Giametti. Thomas A. Getz. Iris Catrice Gibbs. Richard L. Goldman. Stephen D. Harlan. Roger K. Harned II. Linda Ann Heyer. Marshall Edward Hicks. Jeffrey P. Hogg. Gary M. Hollenberg. Charles Hugh Holloway. Deborah Masako Aikida. Robert Warren Janowitz. Deborah Oler Jeffries. Anuja Jingran. James M. Camplain. Kalpana Mulidar Kanal. Erwin A. Keller. Eric James Kilgore. Alexis O. Claudakis, not sure. Sorry. Catherine A. Klein. Mark E. Klein. Tova Königsberg. Kenneth P. Corti. Kenneth D. Crone. James T. Lambeth. Ronald Keith Larson. Jeffrey S. Lava. Simon Sheckman Lowe. Roberta Camille Laco. William Bruce Lowry. And now we have a special candidate for fellowship, a member of the Board of Chancellors, Katarzyna Jawiga Matsura. Eric S. Malden. Elizabeth Pamela Malton. William R. Marsh. Robert Carolyn McKinstry. Robert Melly. Patricia J. Murgo. Gregory Stephen Merrick. Demetrius Constantine Moros. Hester J. Muller. Vamsi Nara. Dan L. Nguyen. Carl Eric Newish. Daniel G. Oshman. Robert H. Paley. Milan V. Patelik. David R. Pennis. Douglas E. Pfeiffer. Susan L. Rebsamen. Sean Dwayne Reisman. Kenneth M. Rieger. Howard A. Rubinson. Mark S. Russell. Peter Bell Sachs. Scott R. Schultz. Stephen K. Sung. Bren Shaw. Frank G. Shelluck. Robin B. Shermis. Ezekiel Silva III. Carolyn Sofka. Jay Sokolow. Sat Summers. John Allen Stahl. Stephen Stein. David L. Steinberg. J. Martin Stewart. Alan Howard Stolpen. Robert Stroud, Jr. Thomas Dale Subilong. Mohan Sunthralingam. Robert J. Talixon. Sean Dwayne Teague. Bin Singh Tay. David I. Fickman. Thomas R. Thompson. Michael John Ulysses. Christoph Wald. David Reed Watts. David E. Wazer. Francis W. Westbecker. Thomas W. White. Hayden T. Williams. Kevin Earl Woolley. Jeffrey A. Young. Mr. President,
I now ask the board and the audience to please stand and extend congratulations to our new fellows. Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to be seated because we've now come to a very special distinction, the degree of Honorary Fellow in the American College of Radiology. This recognition is bestowed upon distinguished individuals who, by virtue of residence, education, profession, or where they receive their board certification, are ineligible for admission as members of the college other than honorary. Normally, this means that they are not diplomats of the American Board of Radiology, the American Board of Nuclear Medicine, the American Osteopathic Board of Radiology, or the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada. This year, we have invited two outstanding leaders to join our fellowship. The 2014 Honorary Fellows are Dr. Michel Claudon from France and Dr. Gabriel Creston from the Netherlands. The Honorary Fellows are here this evening and are well known to many of us through their strong ties with colleagues in the U.S. and at the ACR. Now, will Dr. Michel Claudon please join me at the podium? A native of France and the father of three daughters, Dr. Claudon has worked hard in advancing the fields of uroradiology, ultrasound, and pediatric radiology. He has demonstrated his success as a leader, having served as president of the World Federation of Ultrasound in Medicine and Biology and the European Society of Urogenital Radiology. Dr. Claudon is the author of over 144 articles and has been honored as a significant contributor to diagnostic ultrasound by the American Institute of Ultrasound in Medicine, AIUM. Dr. Claudon currently serves as a professor of radiology and chief of the pediatric radiology department in the Children's Hospital at the University of Nancy. It is fitting that the American College of Radiology present Dr. Michel Claudon with honorary fellowship. Okay, podium is yours, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Monsieur le Président, cher Albert, dear Paul, dear board members, dear councillors, dear friends, I feel deeply, profoundly honored to become a fellow of the American College of Radiology. Deeply is a Saxon word, while profoundly, profundus, is a Latin one. Two roots for a unique but intense feeling today. The first time I came to the USA was exactly 30 years ago when I was attending for my first time the RSNA in Washington, D.C. A first international but impressive approach to radiology, even if I remember that I reported there was no way to evaluate the pancreas with MRI at the time. Also, a first contact with North America, a mixed but united population, and the many souvenirs in this very historical city, including the contribution of French people to the American Revolution. Saxon and Latin cultures, freedom and liberty, Saxon, Latin, native and immigrants, whatever the color, the history and the religion, I always did my best to understand and respect the many differences which just make humankind. In particular, I had to contribute to integrate the so-called Eastern countries into our European community around the year 2000, when I had to preside the European Federation of Ultrasound, and a decade later as a world presidency to federate more than 70 countries. If ultrasound has, of course, a special place in my life, radiology is my home. This discipline has been a permanent evolution for the last 4 decades for our interest and pleasure. It is now a key discipline transverse in the patient's management. My experience gains a lot from all these years within the European Society of Radiology and now at the head of the European Society of Uroradiology. And this turned to be very useful when I was elected 2 years ago as a president of my medical community to manage a large teaching hospital with some deficit. Radiology, the success of the American College of Radiology in promoting the discipline and the public affairs for the benefit of current and incoming generations is obvious and much appreciated. I'm deeply grateful to all of you for the nomination and this marvelous ceremony. In a statement, George Washington said that true friendship is a plant of slow growth. And I would finally express my gratitude to all of you, for sure, but in a more personal way to a few. First, to Dr. Leonard Berlin, who kindly initiated the procedure of this honorary fellowship. I knew him as a famous lecturer in medical legal issues. I discovered a very nice, elegant man with his wife Phyllis, a gentleman. To my Sergeant-at-Arms, Martha Hernand-Schulman, to those who preceded me or are going to succeed me at the head of the World Federation of Ultrasound, Barry Goldberg, Marv Ziskin, Giovanni Cherry, Hassan Garbi, Harvey Nissenbaum is here, Byung Choi, and a word to Eddie Blues from New Orleans. To those from the European Society of Radiology, most of the leaders are here tonight. Gabriel Cresting is going to succeed me as an honorary fellow, Guy Frija, Lorenzo Bonomo, Luis Donoso, Paul Parizel. And from the US, James Roll, Bruce Hillman are here, Eric Stern, Parvati Ramchandani, Ron Zagoria, and those who kindly welcomed me when I spent this marvelous sabbatical year at Children's Hospital in Boston 15 years ago, Bob Lebovitz and George Taylor. And finally, to a person who has accompanied me during all these years, my wife, clearly, she's sitting there, just to say you with love that it has been wonderful to have you and our 3 daughters with me. I measure the way I have been walking along, the many friends I have worldwide, the chance to have been serving as a radiologist, the many close links I have with your great nation, the step forward achieved today through my person between the many societies I have been working for and the ACR. Monsieur le Président, cher Albert, I feel deeply, profoundly honored to be received as an honorary fellow of the American College of Radiology. Thank you.
Now will Dr. Gabriel Creston please join me at the podium. Born in Romania, Dr. Gabriel Creston immigrated to Germany at the age of 19, where he graduated from the University of Cologne. Dr. Creston has held numerous leadership positions within the specialty, including President of the European Society of Radiology and President of the European Society for Magnetic Resonance in Medicine and Biology. Adding to his experiences in leadership is the founding of Management in Radiology, an annual congress that provides a forum for the exchange of ideas and concepts on management aimed to enhance radiology's contribution to medicine. Dr. Creston currently is a professor of radiology and chair of the Department of Radiology at the Erasmus Medical Center in the Netherlands. He is a prolific author, having written over 350 articles and 7 books. Additionally, he served on the editorial and advisory boards of several international journals, including Radiology. It is fitting that the American College of Radiology present Dr. Creston with honorary fellowship. Congratulations. Let's get a picture. Okay, the podium is yours, sir.
Dr. Blumberg, dear Albert, Dr. Ellenbogen, dear Paul, distinguished members of the ACR Board of Chancellors, thank you for the great honor that you are bestowing upon me today. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is always a great joy to be professionally honored, and to be so honored by a great professional society like the American College of Radiology is a very special privilege. 40 years ago, when I left from behind the Iron Curtain into the free world, I could not even imagine my life leading to this moment. I have been most fortunate in my professional career and in my private life, and enjoyed the support of my family, but also of some very remarkable people in our profession. As British writer Gladys Bronwyn Stern once stated, silent gratitude is not much use to anyone. So please allow me to express my gratitude to just some of those whose friendship and wisdom I have been privileged to enjoy. First, to my collaborators at Erasmus University in Rotterdam for their enthusiasm, talent, and creativity. They all helped me in building up our department to one of the leading institutions in Europe. In the past 17 years, I enjoyed every day working with them, and I am grateful for their loyalty, ambition, and hard work. As we all know, while distinctions such as this are nominally bestowed on an individual, they invariably reflect the collective efforts of a multitude, and that is certainly the case for me today. Which brings me to my colleagues in many European and international scientific organizations, in which I served over the past 20 years. I would like to thank for their support in cherishing cultural diversity and in helping me initiating many ambitious projects, like the, for instance, establishment of the European Institute for Biomedical Imaging Research that is so close to my heart. A special word of gratitude to all my American friends, and particularly to some very distinguished members of the ACR. I would especially like to mention some of my great mentors to whom I will remain always indebted: Alex Margulis, Elias Serouni, and the late Gary Glazer. Their wisdom and guidance over many years has been an invaluable source of inspiration. A special word of gratitude to Bruce Hillman, who initiated this procedure and who has always been an inspiration to me in many of his brilliant activities in research, education, and management. Indeed, leading a university medical imaging department means to strive towards clinical excellence, means teaching eager young students and residents, and means innovative research on the frontiers of biomedical imaging technology, but sometimes also means managing high expectations with limited resources. It is challenging, but also the most exciting and most rewarding task one could choose in a professional career. I would like to once more express my profound gratitude to the Board of Chancellors for awarding me with the Honorary Fellowship of the American College of Radiology. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this convocation now directs itself to an inspiring privilege. We are now to bestow the highest honor of the American College of Radiology. We are now to engrave additional names on our most distinguished roster, the recipients of the gold medal of the American College of Radiology. To this eminent group, we here provide additional luster with the names of 3 outstanding leaders in radiology. I am pleased to have Dr. Reed Dunnick join me to the podium. Working hard and collaborating with others to advance the specialty is nothing new for Dr. Dunnick. Reed has a long history with the college, serving as a member of the Board of Chancellors from 2002 to 2009, as well as on various committees and commissions, such as the Commission on Body Imaging and the Commission on Education. Dr. Dunnick has also served as the president of the American Roentgen-Ray Society and is currently the president of the Radiologic Society of North America Board of Directors. Dr. Dunnick also has a strong commitment to education. He is currently the Fred Jenner Hodges Professor and Chair of the Department of Radiology at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. He was awarded a Lifetime Service Award from the American Board of Radiology and has served as a faculty member of both Duke University Medical Center and Stanford University School of Medicine. When asked what receiving the gold medal meant to him, Reed said, "This is a most appreciated honor and one that reflects upon the many talented colleagues with whom I've had the pleasure of working. For all of his contributions to education, his professional leadership, service to the ACR, and to many other radiological societies, it is most fitting that Dr. Reed Dunnick be awarded the ACR Gold Medal." All right. Put your hat back on. Thank you, Reed. The honor podium, please.
Thank you, Al. This really is a most cherished honor, and I very much appreciate it. You know, medicine is complex, and we work in teams. We take care of patients. In research, it's all about team science. We also work in teams in education. Our professional societies indeed depend upon hundreds, no, thousands of volunteers to do their jobs. So, Al, if I may, I accept this honor on behalf of the many talented colleagues that I have had the pleasure to work with, especially those in the Michigan Radiological Society and my colleagues back home at the University of Michigan. Our families are also very important. I'm delighted that my wife, Marilyn, is here with us this evening. She indeed is my best friend and my harshest critic. But all those ideas were great, Marilyn. My daughters, Corey and Amanda, are also with me this evening. They're familiar to many of you because they've been able to attend a number of our Professional Radiology Society meetings. And I strongly recommend that you think about doing the same. Where appropriate, take a daughter or son with you to one of our meetings. They'll get a better idea of what you see, and it'll be a lot of fun for you. These are difficult times. Our clinical revenues are down. Research is more difficult. Our overhead expenses are up. But, as Bo Schembechler, the legendary football coach at Michigan, might say, we got them right where we want them. Because with change, there is opportunity. Imaging 3.0 is a great step forward. Many people have recognized the need to better train ourselves for those non-interpretive skills. We have leadership programs here in the college, the RSNA, the Roentgen Ray, the AUR, SCARD, our universities. We're all training ourselves to be better leaders. But I think we ought to rename these programs. It's not all about leadership. It would benefit all of us, for every one of us, to attend and participate in these. Because even if you don't want to be the department chair or the president of your group, you'll be a better member of the team for having participated in these programs. I'm really happy to see that radiation oncologists and diagnostic radiologists are working together more closely today than ever before. And we all depend more and more on our medical physicists. We indeed are one community, and it's important for us to speak as best we can with one voice. So I ask you to volunteer to serve. Different places, your university, your professional society, the American College of Radiology, and don't forget to give back. Thank you.
Wait, he wants to take a picture. Read. I now have the pleasure to ask Dr. Carol Rumack to join me here at the podium. Dr. Carol Rumack holds a prominent place within the ACR. She has served on our Board of Chancellors and was ACR President from 2009 to 2010. She has worked on numerous commissions, including the ACR Commission on Ultrasound and the Commission on General and Pediatric Radiology. She was the founding president of the American Association of Women Radiologists, helping lay the groundwork for the association to create opportunities for women in this specialty. Dr. Rumack is also a leader in the field of pediatric brain ultrasound. She has authored numerous texts and is an author of the textbook Diagnostic Radiology, which is in the 4th edition. As a parenthetical, even Ed Blue says that your book is the one that everybody reads. She is currently the Associate Dean of Graduate Medical Education at the University of Colorado Denver School of Medicine. Carol said, "The ACR Gold Medal is the greatest honor of my career. I am proud to have this truly amazing recognition. It is very fitting that the ACR award Dr. Carol Rumack with the ACR Gold Medal in recognition of her distinguished and extraordinary service to radiology." Congratulations, Carol. See what happens when you have a broken hand?
It's all yours, Cal.
Okay. What a treat. Thank you. Good evening, Paul Ellenbogen, the board chair, Al Bloomberg, president of the ACR. My congratulations to all the new ACR fellows, and especially our wonderful families and honored guests. They are here to celebrate with us, and I thank you for all to come. This is indeed the greatest honor of my career. Well, I'm very proud to share this honor with two great friends and great leaders, Dr. Thrall and Dr. Dunnick. It's been great over the years. I want to challenge the new ACR fellows sitting in the front here, the residents and the fellows in the RFS section, and all ACR members to embrace the pleasure of years of service that I have had with the ACR. It's been working with so many innovative and expert colleagues focused on improving the quality of radiology for everyone, ourselves, our patients, that I am proud to be here. I'm also very proud to be the 7th woman to be awarded the ACR Gold Medal, and I consider this an accomplishment for all women in radiology. I have been very blessed in my life. My mother and dad, thankfully, met in medical school and practiced family medicine together for over 50 years. Because I had followed my mother everywhere, to hospitals and house calls, I could tell my surprised school advisors that yes, women can be doctors. They didn't believe it, but I said, I'm going to do it. I'm very fortunate that I met my husband, Barry, at the University of Chicago in college and convinced him he needed to go to medical school and not be a PhD because we needed to both be doctors. And we went to the University of Wisconsin. We both planned pediatric careers, but I took a different path after my internship at the University of Maryland. My second year in Baltimore was required for Barry's NIH research. So I spent a fascinating year working at Johns Hopkins with John Dorst and Dick Heller, and they were so delightful. We also worked with Victor McCusick, one of the legendary leaders in genetics. What fascinated me was that the radiologists contributed directly to the care of the patient. Dr. Dorst went to the clinic with Dr. McCusick, talked to patients from the little people of America. He was very interested in the small people. And he would talk to the patient, standing there, showing him the x-rays, explaining to him, you have scoliosis, but if you don't do anything, you're going to start looking like this. And it was just amazing to me, and I decided I wanted to do that. Dick Heller, a good friend at that time, and they're so enthusiastic, introduced me to Lucy Frank Squire, a very famous teacher at Harvard. And I said to her, I'm planning to go to Denver, and I'm thinking I'm going to do radiology. Do you think that's okay? I didn't know anything about it there. And she said, well, if there's enough books and enough patients, you'll be okay. And I thought, this is from a teacher, so it's amazing. She said, you can learn it anyway if you have enough books and enough patients. So I went, and I greatly enjoyed that. Returning to Denver, at that time, I didn't have a position as a radiology resident. I convinced the chair to take me as an unpaid resident, which is not allowed in today's world, but it was a good opportunity for me. Then I convinced them to let me be the first pediatric radiology fellow, because that's what I wanted to do. And they allowed that. Everything is going smoothly, right? Right until the time I began to look for a job. And then an unexpected set of events occurred. There were 3 jobs in Denver to look at. The first person I called, a previous university division chief, now in private practice, told me that although he knew I did good work, their group of 20 radiologists did not interview women because they didn't hire women. So I should look somewhere else. The second job at University Hospital, the university chair said to me, well, I hired one woman, and she committed suicide, so I'm not hiring any more women. The third place, at the City Trauma Hospital, had a new chief from Boston. He wanted to hire me, but he was told by the university chair, we won't have any women on the faculty. Luckily for me, he hired me as a contract radiologist, And a year later, I joined the faculty. So it worked out in the end. My first research was with Joe Holmes, a pioneer in ultrasound. He had a B-1 bomber part that was a great big metal barrel with water in it, and the patient sitting on a chair in the middle of that barrel. He was scanned by a large beam circling the patient. They started with a family that had multicystic kidney disease, and they've been studying that family for many years, tracking the incidence of this dominant disease. While others thought it was weird science, and they said to me, you know, those are kind of weird shadows, that ultrasound stuff. I was excited. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I used it to identify a very high incidence of newborn brain hemorrhage that nobody had suspected. 5% at postmortem had hemorrhage, but 50% at that time had hemorrhage in the brain that were living babies. So, with my first presentations at Rankin Ray and RSNA, I met a number of women scientists who were frustrated with the barriers for women, and we decided to start the American Association of Women Radiologists as a separate organization so we could have our own voice for women to succeed. But we also decided right then that our goal was to work within radiology organizations and to make change by working from within. A key leader, Helen Redmond, became the first woman on the RSNA Board of Chancellors. Kay Vitarini became the first woman speaker of the ACR. Exciting times. It was about 10 years before we got childcare at these meetings, and that had to do with Kimberly Applegate and Terry Antuaco working very hard with the leaders in those organizations. Gretchen Gooding started publishing our progress and telling us, track who's in each organization, how many women, what are they doing about the leadership, and published it, and convinced us to have awards, which we thought was kind of radical for a women's organization to give awards. But we do. We started right off giving, and we do still give, a Marie Curie Award named for the first ACR woman gold medalist. Over 30 years, we've had many outstanding women leaders from all the subspecialties. One of the best outcomes for women has been the new ACR Commission on Diversity and Women, appointed by Paula Ellenbogen and chaired by past president of the AWR, Kasia Makura, from Johns Hopkins. In ending, I want to particularly thank my great friend and mentor, Harvey Neiman, who as CEO of ACR challenged me to do more, achieve a level of excellence in everything I do, starting with the ACGME Residency Review Committee appointment and my year as ACR president. I greatly treasure that presidential year. It allowed me to travel and meet so many ACR members around the country and appreciate their work for the college. My very great thanks go to Chip Dodd, the chair of radiology at the University of Colorado, and to Jim Borgstead. We're very fortunate to have two great leaders from the ACR in our practice. Thank you again for this wonderful honor. I am so pleased that my son Mark, wife Beth, will you stand, and children Kimberly, Gavin, and Natalie are here, as well as my husband Barry, for this momentous evening. I am deeply honored by this amazing recognition. Thank you all.
Will James Thrall please join me at the podium? Former chair of the Board of Chancellors, Dr. Thrall is the first physician to hold both the radiologist in chief position at Massachusetts General Hospital and the Juan M. Tavares Professorship of Radiology at the Harvard Medical School. Dr. Thrall currently chairs the executive committee of the Harvard Department of Radiology and has served on numerous editorial boards, including those of the Journal for Nuclear Medicine and the JACR. In addition to serving as faculty at Harvard and the University of Michigan Medical Center, Jim is the author of more than 400 publications, including the books Nuclear Medicine, The Requisites, and A Guide to Digital Revolution. For Dr. Thrall, receiving the gold medal is not an award received in isolation. He said, "What we accomplish in medicine, in caring for patients, and within professional organizations like the ACR requires teams of people. I really believe that each person who is fortunate enough to be a recipient of the ACR Gold Medal should think of themselves as accepting it in recognition of everyone who has supported the team and worked together over the years on behalf of radiology. Dr. James Thrall has made vast contributions to the field of radiology through his many roles of leadership and service. It is fitting that Dr. Thrall be awarded the ACR Gold Medal." Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you very much, President Blumberg. I think this is going to be known as the year of the hat. But President Blumberg, Chairman Ellenbogen, fellow ACR members and guests, to receive the gold medal of the ACR is truly the honor of a lifetime, and I thank everyone in the ACR. Obviously, and to the quote that was read, I believe that no one stands at this podium alone. I thank my colleagues, friends, and family for their support over the years. Thrall family is right out there. It's a special pleasure to be recognized today with Reed Dunnick and Carol Rumack. We've become good friends over the years, working together for the ACR and other organizations. Reed chairs the Department of Radiology at my alma mater. So Reed, I know you're in good shape and keep on going. And Carol and I had the pleasure of serving while she was president. It was one of the years I chaired the Board of Chancellors, and I treasured the opportunity to work with her. Now, I would like to go in a slightly different direction in my comments. I would like to offer two brief observations that are relevant to this wonderful convocation ceremony. The first is that early in every one of our careers, and I would say whether it's in medicine or anything else, but let's stick with medicine, the issues were all about us as individuals. We each had the challenge as an individual to acquire knowledge and to pass examinations. And as I recall, there were a lot of examinations. And it's a very long educational process. Each of us then needed to obtain a license to practice medicine and become board certified. Again, individual accomplishments. However, with that accomplished, for the rest of one's career, think about this, the focus widens, and being a member of groups and organizations becomes important to us. Most of us practice in some sort of group, whether private, academic, or other. And as we certainly saw again this afternoon in our meeting, we all benefit from the activities of our many wonderful professional organizations. In fact, I would argue that our professional well-being depends on the effectiveness of our groups and organizations. Their success is our success to the extent that they represent us effectively and support us in our practices. So in this context, it is crucial that some people come forward who are willing to take on the added burdens and challenges of leadership. And it is precisely those people who have been willing to come forward as leaders and serve their profession and their colleagues that we honor tonight as our new ACR Fellows. Congratulations again to all of you. Your contributions are pivotal in moving radiology forward, and I sincerely hope that you all maintain the same commitments that you have maintained to this point in your career and earned you a seat in this convocation this evening. So congratulations again to our new fellows. Second, it is interesting to think about what is truly important and enduring in a profession. In this regard, it is really interesting to me that there's not a single piece of imaging equipment, imaging technology on the market today from when I started my residency, and I know my children think that was 100 years ago, but it's also true, believe it or not, from the time period when I became chair of radiology at MGH, which was only 25 years ago. Think about that. Not a single piece of equipment is on the market today that was on the market then. Technology is so important to us, and we spend so much time learning about it and thinking about it, but the technology of today as such is clearly not and never will be the enduring basis of radiology. What is enduring is our values and ethics and our commitment to our patients, as we heard from previous people at this podium. These are immutable, and they are the basis of the ACR Fellowship Oath. As people come back here in 10 years and 20 years and 50 and 100 years, may these values never change. Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Let's get a picture. Make the guy happy. Congratulations, Jeremy. Well said. I want to personally take this opportunity to express my thanks and appreciation to all of the spouses, families, and guests here tonight for this special event. I want to especially thank them for their understanding and commitment to all of us during the years that we have been involved in our careers. Without your understanding and dedicated support, we would not be who we are today. This truly has been an inspiring evening. We are all blessed to live and work in a country that gives us the freedom to learn, to provide the best care to our patients, to make a difference. In recognition and appreciation for all that we enjoy, I ask everyone to please stand and raise your voices by joining our guest vocalist, Ute Greffer-Wald, in singing God Bless America. After we finish singing, please remain standing for the benediction by Rabbi Schulman. Ute?
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
What a special treat. Thank you very much, Ute. Before closing this convocation, let us return our thoughts again to the source of our inspiration and of our service, our Maker. Rabbi Schulman will now lead us in the benediction.
In God's presence, we pray as we conclude this convocation, extending our congratulations and giving our thanks for the honors and recognitions bestowed. We also are thankful for the privilege of simply joining together. Our country and our culture benefit from what we affirm tonight. United by the image of collaboration and commitment, we represent the respect and dignity that must be present when and wherever people gather, working toward our best purposes and opportunities. God, we pray for the strength and well-being of those we treat who seek recovery and healing. May we attain insight and wisdom, always to attend to their needs with sensitivity and understanding. God, we pray, may we and all whom we meet enjoy the continuing blessings of life and of health in body and spirit. May the good feelings we share now enable so many others to feel good in the course of their lives. Amen.
This convocation stands adjourned.